Hi there, welcome to my motorhome. Come on in. Shoes off, of course. This is the motorhome. It's essential for every rider, I reckon, to get away from the crowd and just relax and chill out. But this is it, really. This is the dining room. Computer where you're doing whatever. Yeah, comfy seats so you can watch the TV. Kitchen. Through the bathroom shower. You can come and check out the toilet if you really want to. Toilet in here. Down here's the bedroom. So it's home away from home really, and we used to live in it for a while. So for a good 3 years there, we were constantly in here. But now it's just a weekend thing. So yeah, really enjoy it, and it's a good way to get away from everybody or to meet people. We can get out under the awning and talk and do whatever. So this is it.
This thing is better than my house at home because, I mean, we spend just as much time in it. If you go outside, you get quite a few people that want autographs, and you get stuck in a place, and the more people, you sign one, you got to sign 100. So nothing against the fans. The fans are great, but on my personal level, I need to get, just relax and look at what's going on. And I have loads of times for the fans whenever I want to go do it.
Maybe when I first came to the series and first saw people doing that, it was a bit scary, really. It was a bit daunting, But now I think it's just great. I think it's, they've got such a passion for the sport, and if I can make it their day a little bit better, like, during the weekend we're very busy and that, but usually after brands I sit out there for an hour or so and sign autographs, and on the Sunday night, and just give it a little bit back, because they come to see me, and that's amazing. They make that effort. When I walk down the pits and people yelling, I really get a buzz out of it still. And if it was the other way, you'd be just snobbing people and thinking, well, I deserve this. Well, no, to me, it's every time I sign an autograph, it's still a treat. It's like, is this still happening to me? I'm getting paid to do this as well. It's incredible.
Colin Edwards can afford to be in buoyant mood. He leads the championship by 18 points from the 1996 world champion Troy Corser, and is 33 points ahead of Yamaha rider Noriyuki Haga. It's time to go to work, and although he doesn't know it yet, it's going to be a hard day at the office. In the initial qualifying session, Edwards struggles to find a setup for the bike that he's happy with. It's down to his chief mechanic, Adrian Gorst, to find solutions. Edwards needs to relay what he's learnt from the bike, and Gorst needs to translate that information into various settings for the mechanics and tyre technicians to work to, if they're to improve on their provisional 4th place on the grid.
Just traffic again. Sake.
Communication is key between rider and chief technician if they are to improve the bike's handling characteristics.
Is that frustrating? Can I talk to these guys first?
Yeah.
You can move.
Colin's not the most talkative when he gets off the motorcycle a lot of the time. Sometimes we have to drag it out of him, Aaron's a little bit more talkative when he gets off the bike, probably, But that's just a different rider. So you just deal with that and get on with it,
It's like, before it comes back in, and it's just freewheeling the front going.
If the rider's not confident, he's not going to go anywhere. As soon as he's confident in his own ability, he'll be very hard to beat. And it's quite... When someone gets really good and sort of gets a name for being a bit unbeatable, everybody else sort of starts to revere them and sort of think, oh, I can't beat you. And it affects them. Aaron, being Aaron, still feels he's a better rider than Colin. But he lets himself down with some qualifying performances. He needs to qualify better.
With seconds left in qualifying, wildcard entrant Neil Hodgson snatches pole from Edwards. It delights the partisan crowd but leaves the Texan unfazed. A few seconds later comes something entirely unexpected.
Whoa! Hager's gone.
Dude, that was huge. Dude, he's already... Dude, that's weird. Landed on the bike kind of, didn't he?
Just in front of it, on his head. Yeah, just in front of it.
And it doesn't put you off. It's just you learn. If you don't learn something when you crash, then something was wrong. You know, when you crash, you learn. Okay, that's the point. You know, you can't push it past that point. So you get it to that point in every corner. You know, and it might have just been that corner you were pushing too hard in, and you know, it's I definitely learned something. You know,
Back at the team's headquarters in Louth in the north of England, the bikes go through the usual routine of being stripped down and meticulously checked and cleaned. Mistakes here can make the difference between success and failure.
How the bike looks reflects on you, you know. So that is what takes the time, cleaning everything. Stripping it down and rebuilding it, you can strip one from, I mean, this has been done today. It took me about 4 hours. From engine in the chassis, everything, complete bike to nothing. To build it back up, somewhere along the same.
HRCs stipulate that every component has a designated lifespan. Detailed records are kept that clearly indicate the number of kilometres each part has run.
A chain, they say 600 kilometres, but a chain you change after every race, you know, just to be sure. Things like the engines, they can do anywhere up to 2,700 kilometres before you'd need to do anything. Probably most things on the chassis are anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 kilometres. Some things 5, but generally 2,000 to 3,000 kilometres.
Yeah, February 18th had brain surgery, and when I started at Donington on the Friday, it was 12 weeks to the day.
12 weeks since surgery, and you've got a bike to qualify for a World Championship race.
Yeah, I thought
what about that? Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm really excited, you know, go to Assen. I mean, the bike's gonna work good at Assen for sure, you know. Are you guys coming to Assen? Anybody coming to Assen? Sweet, we'll have to win one for you guys.
Three rounds left, and a downpour greets the teams as they form up on the grid at the famous Dutch circuit of Assen. Edwards has claimed his 5th pole position of the season. He hasn't won since Monza, and he desperately needs to win to get his championship back on track.
Once those lights change, there's nothing any member of the team can do. It's down to the rider then and what happens. We have to make sure he has a reliable bike, hope for the right tyres underneath him, and really anything can happen. He could crash, he could break down, although I have to say our bikes have been incredibly reliable, so that's normally not a problem we do have. And racing isn't guaranteed. If the results were guaranteed, there wouldn't be any racing.
Tuxworth's words echoed true. In the torrential conditions, staying upright proved half the battle. Yet through it all, Edwards seemed in a different class, pulling clear of his rivals in a faultless display, armed with a new profile wet weather tyre from Michelin. Incredibly, it had been 3.5 months and 11 races since Edwards last won. Now once more he's in demand as the world's press surge in. Barely enough time for Adrian Gorst to gain feedback from his man before he's whisked away to face the media.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, good one. Needed that.
Back in the circle.
Thanks, mate. No problems, Colin? Everything good?
Had a little miss, like the ignition or something.
Okay.
With changing conditions, race 2 was anything but the icing on the cake. The stark reality was that the tyre setup chosen by Edwards and Gorst was painfully off the pace. For the first time, the Texan was in danger of losing track position to teammate Aaron Slight. Megan and Chief Mechanic Chris Pike follows Slight's progress as he passes Edwards and moves up to 4th position. It was to be his best finish of the season. But worse news for Edwards was to come. His championship rival, the Japanese rider Noriyuki Haga, won and closed the gap at the top of the table to just 20 points. This despite the 45 points Haga was deducted at the first round of the season for his positive drugs test. With 2 rounds left and 100 points up for grabs, suddenly the World Superbike title seems a million miles away.
Oh, it's nice to write down that you've actually overtaken some people anyway.
Even power laying in the grass.
Oh no, took Corsa, took Lavilla, took Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, off when they're off.
Colin, you saw me shut? Hey, Colin! Colin! Hey, Colin!
I wasn't a second off the pace. I was 2-3 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Pitching into the corner, brake, go in, and just doing that. Trying to get it all in the front just to turn the thing. No fun. No fun.
A week on from the highs and lows of Assen, the Superbike circus has arrived in Germany. Only a major error from Haga could hand the momentum back to Edwards here at Oschersleben. It came in qualifying. Another crash which again left him starting 16th. An on-form Edwards took the first race, and Yamaha was suddenly faced with the realization that race 2 could almost decide the title. Corsa, sitting third in the championship behind Haga and Edwards, seemed in reflective mood as he waited for the start. He knows that he can only remain in contention if both his rivals fail to finish. It's crunch time. If Edwards can win race 2, with Haga finishing no higher than 5th, the Texan will have one hand on the championship crown. Only the Court of Appeal could save the day for Haga.